Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the hands on training session of Adobe Creative Jam Hackathon 2022, an initiative of Adobe in association with NVIDIA. Adobe Creative Jam Hackathon is an exciting virtual contest that focuses on creativity and networking. It is an engaging experience for all while promoting the value of efficiency and teamwork, an impeccable platform to tap the underlying talent of the creative enthusiasts to explore new ideas for various projects. The hackathon itself positions as an inspiring model to hone the creative skills in all, an indispensable opportunity to work with Adobe tools to showcase your creative talent, make most of the learning opportunities, and grab exciting prizes. This is a great opportunity for you to learn Adobe Premiere Pro from the experts. Today we have been joined by Mr. Chetan Shah from Adobe and Mr. Kalpesh Revawala from Faculty. Now, without any further delay, let's start with the hands on workshop. I would like to invite our expert speaker for the day, Mr. Kalpesh Revawala. Kalpesh has been associated with media and entertainment industry since year 2000 in different capacities. Currently, he is a partner at Faculty Tech Solutions LLP, where he takes care of technical sales, pre-sales for the company. Hi, Kalpesh.
Hi, how are you doing?
All good.
All good. Perfect. Thanks for the introduction. And let me just quickly jump into sharing my screen. Okay, and I'm sharing my entire screen right now. Just confirm if you can see my screen. Yep,
Yes.
I believe so. Yep, perfect. Perfect. Hello everyone. This is Kalpesh Riyawala, and today I will be taking you through Adobe Premiere Pro, which is editing tool which helps you to create your stories in visual format. So I believe that a lot of you must have edited some kind of videos on mobile phones or other applications. So this tool is basically a professional level tool which helps you to create a good video content for lot of different platforms, whether it is social media, for films, for television, or for whatever personal reasons also you might want to use it. So now let me just take you through the interface a bit quickly and show you if we have to create a small project, how we can go about it. So the first thing over here is, once you open up Premiere Pro, you will be seeing this window, which is the welcome screen, and it will show you few options. A few of them are like you can open up your recent files over here. You have got your new project or open project options over here as well. And if you are totally new to Premiere Pro, the best option over here is to go to Learn. And if I come over here, you will see there are a lot of different sections, a lot of in-app tutorials. And what does it mean is basically you can go through these videos or these tutorials with a hands-on training. So it will guide you what you need to do next, where the menus are, and how you can proceed further. So it will take or train you step by step in terms of individual topics what I mentioned over here. If you want to see all in-app tutorials, you can click over here. It will take you to the web browser where you can see a lot of different tutorials available for you. So similarly, you have got tutorials on the web which will help you to see different features of Premiere Pro and how to use them. So if you are new, I will recommend you that you can come here and quickly learn what you want to do. So let me just start off with creating a new project. So when I click on this new project button over here, this interface is very simple, it's simplified now. So what you need to do is there are three basic steps in any editing. So you might want to import the content which you want to edit. Then you will actually do your editing stuff over here on this tab, and then finally once the edit is ready and you want to export it, or you want to create a movie out of it, you can export it out from here. So there are three simple steps wherein you can start using Premiere Pro. So the first step is to import. Now, while you want to import, you want to see where your medias are. By default, we have got sample medias over here, which every one of you will be having if you have installed Premiere Pro. And you can actually select which media you want to import. So for example, I want to import this media, okay, and then I want to import probably this media, and then I want to import this. And if you see, when I'm selecting the media, what is happening is it is showing me a thumbnail of those media in my timeline. So not only that is importing, it's also creating a sort of visual clue for me that how it will be panned if I want to bring it in. What I can also do is to create a timeline simply by selecting all these media. Okay, whatever media I want to select and select them. And I might want to create a new sequence. So what is a sequence? Sequence is nothing but a higher level folder which will, or a timeline which will have all this media in a sequential order. So what you see on the bottom will come on a specific timeline in this particular order. Okay. So that is one thing what you want to do. So the few things what we will do in import thing is we'll select the media which you want to import. It might be in the order of selection or order of your story, or it might be randomly, and then you can obviously rearrange it later on. Other thing is I will have to name this project. So at least two things I need to do. I need to name this project. So this will be like training, and I have selected the media. So at least two things you need to do: your project name, select the media which you want to import. Now, if the media is not in the same folder, you can also go to a different folder and select some other media if you want to select them. So it will obviously come, in this particular import in a single go. So all the media need not be in a single folder. It can be in multiple folders, and you can select whichever media you want. Right now, this is the thing. If I want to create a new sequence from here, I can simply enable this, and I can give a sequence name. By default, it will take sequence one, but if you want to give some meaningful name to it, yeah, definitely you can give it. As of now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this off, and I will show you how you can create a sequence after you import this thing. So while importing, two things are important. One is the project name, and secondly, the media which you want to select. Again, this media what you are importing is not the end of it. That means you can again come back, again import any other media you want in between the edit sessions also. So this is, if you know what you want to import, good enough. If you are not sure what you want to import, simply give a project name and simply say create. So when I'm doing this, you will see that a project is being created with the name training, and we have got all the media which you wanted over here. Now to view this media, this is in basically a details view, that is a list view, and then we have got also an icon view so that you can see them as an icon. And if I just hover on these clips, I will be able to see that these clips are like all movie clips, and it will show me what it consists of, what I have shot, right? So all these things are there. Now in case if I didn't import the media, I would just, if I was just creating a project, and once I come in, I can import media here as well. So either I can go back to import, and I can select additional media if I want to select. So if I want to select this and this, I can again import this. Those two media will come back in this bin or in this project over here. Also, what I can do is I can go to file, and I can say import from here, and I can import any files, okay, which I want to directly from here. So this is the import method in Premiere Pro. So what we want to do is we want to import all the content or all the videos which we want to edit or create a story with. The next thing is, this is just in the project bin right now. What we want to do is we want to lay them or line up in a way that it actually comes one after the other in terms of a story. So to do that, we'll have to first create a sequence. If I go to File, New, Sequence. So again, remember when we were importing, we had this create a sequence option over there. It would have created a sequence based on the first clip what I had selected over there. Over here, if I go to create a sequence now, it will give me a new sequence window. And this new sequence window will have multiple presets which I can select from. So if you know which camera you're shooting with, definitely you can actually select one of these presets over there. Now here I'm going to take a basic digital SLR, because normally what we shoot is with a mobile device or a digital SLR unless you have a professional camera. I'm just taking this 1080p 25. Okay, that means that if I go to my settings, I can see that this is DSLR 25 fps 1920 by 1080, which is a HD format, and it is vertical uh, aspect ratio, which is again the aspect ratio is square pixels 1. So this is what I want, and I'm going to do a DSLR 25 1920 1080, and this is what I will create a project with. Now if you are not sure what your frame rate will be, or what your camera is, because if you are shooting with a mobile device, that there might be an issue. Let me just say okay over here, and I can take these clips and I can put up over here. Now in case this happens, that means I have taken a first clip, and what is happening over here is it is showing me a dialog box that is the clip does not match the sequence settings. Now sequence settings was 25 fps 1920 1080, but the clip is having some different settings, or some different aspect ratio of frame rate or fps or resolution. So it is asking whether I want to change it or I want to keep the existing settings. Now this will happen only for the first time if there's a mismatch between the clip what you are importing and the sequence what you have created. Now if I want to keep the same settings, that means I know that I want to export out as an 25 fps HD video, I will say keep existing settings because I want it that way. But in case if you are okay with, okay fine, I don't mind, just change the sequence settings, what will happen is the sequence setting will get changed based on the clip settings over here. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the existing settings. So I'm sure I want to keep an HD expectation. You can see this clip is very small over here. So in that scenario I can actually right click and I can fit or scale the it to a frame size, so it actually comes and fits my frame over here because the aspect ratios are same. Now in case if I didn't want to do that, I wanted to create a sequence based on these same settings, what I can do is I can take this clip and drag and drop into this icon over here, which you see, which is a new item icon. If I just drop it over here, it creates a new sequence. And this sequence, if you see, this is a new sequence. This earlier sequence what I had created 25 fps HD sequence, and this is a new sequence based on this particular clip. So now the sequence has taken the settings directly from this particular clip. So again, understand you have the option of creating a sequence as per your understanding, whether the way you want, or if you're not sure, if you're shooting with a mobile device and you are not sure what the sequence will be, take any one of the shots which you have shot on your device, just drag and drop on this icon. It will create a new sequence based on that particular clips, all the details or metadata. Okay, that is the resolution, frame rate, fps, and aspect ratio. So as simple as that. Now if I want to just name it, I can say this can be sequence 2. Okay, so I can just name it if I want to, and this will become sequence 2 for me over here. So now this is the way you create sequences over here, and this is the second step after you import. So import is the first step. Take your media, create a new sequence. It can be based on the existing media, just drag and drop on this icon. And then again, what you need to do is you need to now start editing. That is the third step now. So in edit mode, I'm there and I'm going to start editing. If I want, I can select these clips. Okay, just drag and drop over here, or I can select, I will just press minus key on the keyboard and the plus key on the keyboard to minimize, or the timeline over here, or frame the timeline over here, right? And you can also press the backslash to kind of frame all in the timeline. Now I can select multiple clips, okay, something like this, and probably I can press control or command on Mac and just drag and drop over here. Now if I want to drag and drop, I can just drag and drop here as well. And what happens is it will actually take all the clips in that sequence of my selection. So here you see that these clips have been arranged in my timeline. What I need to do next is I need to start editing this clip. So one way of doing it is I can actually come here and start trimming this off. Okay, let me just go back. I will undo this. These clips are linked clips, but because my link selection was off, this is the link selection icon. So I can select them, I can actually trim them together. Okay, and there's a gap, I can select the gap, I can delete the gap. Similarly, if I want to trim something from the starting of the clip, I can trim that and then delete the gap. Now there are various tools in Premiere Pro which can help you to quickly uh, edit and trim your clips along with deleting the gaps at the same go. Okay, and if I want to show you that, that is called as ripple editing tool. So if I go now, it will be showing me a yellow icon, and if I just trim, it will not only trim to this particular endpoint, but it also delete the gap between the icon and the yellow mark, which you see over here between this thing. So let me just show you that it will actually pull the whole timeline to this point. So it actually pulled the whole timeline to this point and deleted the gap also in between. Else, if I was using a normal trim tool, I would have done the same thing by two steps, by coming over here, deleting or editing this clip to this point, and then selecting this and deleting this. So there are tools which can help you to quickly do your jobs. Also, you can use a lot of keyboard shortcuts, something like if I want to trim the in point of this, I can press Q on the keyboard, it will just trim to this point, delete this section and bring this to the beginning of this mark over here, edit point. And if I want to trim and end it at this point, it will delete this section and bring the next clip to this particular playhead. Let me just press W on the keyboard, and that will happen like that. So a Q for trimming the in point and W for trimming the out point can also be used to quickly edit your clips. So just to show you a quick hint that I want to start this clip over here, press Q, and I want to end this clip over here, press W. Okay, I want to end this clip over here. I will start this clip over here, press Q, and I will end this clip over here. I will press W. So it just trims the clips the way I want it. Okay, here I'll start at this point. I'll press Q, and I will end at this point over here, which will be W. So again, quickly you can arrange your timeline and stuff like that, and you can you know create your own story. If you want, you can actually shift this somewhere else later on. You can bring this wherever you want. You can just shuffle the clips around if you want to, based on how you want to show your story, right? So that is one thing. Now once you do that, the next step definitely comes in is how you want to transition from one clip to the other. Okay, so for transitioning, you have got a lot of effects which you can use, and those are called as transition effects. Okay, so let me just come over here. On the top over here we can see workspaces over here, right? So these workspaces are nothing but the layout of these windows or these tabs what you see over here. So if I'm working with effects, I can go to the effects workspace, and you will see the layout changing to a different form. Ideally, I will still keep to my edit workflow, and within that only I will do all this stuff. But I'm just showing you that you have this easy way of arranging the layout based on what kind of work you are doing. So if you are doing editing, you can go to editing workspace. If you are working with colors, you can go to color workspace. For effects, you have these effects. For audio, you can go to audio. If you are working with graphics and text, you can come over here. So there are a lot of different presets in terms of the workspaces which you can use if you are doing a specific kind of job or work in Premiere Pro. And if you want to learn something, you can go to learn tab also. For example, if I go to learn, you will see this learning over here. It will just open up all the tutorials which you were seeing on the home screen when we opened Premiere Pro. It will look out for new tutorials, and it will show you all those tutorials over here for your easy learning. Okay, so let me just go back to my okay, so let me just go back to my effects workspace over here. And now when we talk about effects, we have got a lot of effects, but what we want was transitions, right? So video transitions is what we're looking at. And by default, if we want, we can use dissolve. So instead of a direct jump from one scene or one shot to another shot at this cut point, I can take this cross dissolve. Now this cross dissolve is marked as, if I just show you this is marked as blue. That means this dissolve is basically a default dissolve if I'm using a keyboard shortcut, which is Command or Control D on the keyboard shortcut. I can also drag and drop that on this edit points over here, so that I will have this dissolves coming up over here. Let me just quickly trim this as well over here, so I can show you what I mean. I just come here and this dissolve will come over here like this. So from here, when I go to next shot, it will actually dissolve into the next shot instead of just a simple jump when the dissolve was not there. This dissolve, if I select, I can actually trim this dissolve, the length of this trim. I can also come here and I can say the alignment can be changed to center at cut, or center start at cut or end at cut. Also, I can change the duration of this cross dissolve by double clicking over here, and it will show me how many seconds of that duration I want. I will say I want just 10 seconds of it, and I can say okay, and it will adjust to 10 seconds. So once I play this now, within 10 seconds it will cross dissolve from shot 1 to shot 2 over here. So you also have a lot of other dissolves or a lot of other transitions. What I mean to say is like something like wipe. If you I want a wipe, for example, so I can just delete this and I can put a wipe over here. Okay, and this wipe will be like something like this. You can see this wipe happening from one shot to the other. Also, if I select this wipe, I will have options of uh, like I will just say show actual sources. I know from which shot I'm going to which shot over here. Also, I can reverse it so that when I go from here, it will actually go in the reverse direction like this. So those things can be done. You can also have options of border width. So if I just increase the border width over here, this black line which you see, I can change the color of that line. For example, I want to change it to say white, and do that. And now if I play this, this is how it will come up. So this vibes, and it actually transitions from this shot to other shot. So there are various ways of moving from one shot to another based on your intent to tell your story. So what you want to show. So if you want to show a transition that somebody is moving from one place to another, and then if you are using a wipe, it makes sense. If you want to show something like you are transitioning in time, dissolve can also work well. If you want to show there is a change in somebody's story, you can also use something like a page peel, so that page turn can be there, or page peel can be there. So all these dissolves can be used to create more interesting transitions between two different shots. Post that, what you might also want to do is you might want to add effects to your shots over here. Now the effects can be whatever you think should be done in terms of like video effects. Let me just show you. So you've got a lot of effects over here, and you might say I want to do something like you know probably a spherize thing. I'll just put up over here, and when I see that, if I just drag and drop that on this, I will have my video effect over there. Let me just minimize this. So this is a spherize, and I can put a radius to it, and you can see what is happening, right? So you can see this spherize happening, and you can actually move this around. So if you want to show something like this happening, you can use this kind of effects. Now, not only that, you might also want to do simple things like just adding what you say. Let me just check this. A color correction. You can use a color correction node from here. You want to just change the brightness and contrast, for example. You can do all those stuff. But for colors, we'll go to Lumetri, because that is the good way of managing the colors in your content. I might want to blur or sharpen something. So for example, I will just remove this spherize, and I want to probably blur this footage. I can just drag it here as well. And when I use this, I can actually blur the footage over here. And I can use this kind of a thing to use it for storytelling things. For example, instead of this, what I can do is I can actually use, I go to start up the clip, I can use blurriness at this level. I can go a few frames forward, and I will just change the blurriness back to 0, so that I don't want any blurriness after a few frames. So there are two keyframes which I created. One was with this blurriness as framed 1, and few frames down the line I just again put back the blurriness to 0, so that the blurriness is no more there, it is all clean. And if I just play this back, you will see that it actually transitions from blur to, like, that is out of focus to focus over here. And look, it gives an interesting way of communicating something in your story or the clip. You can also use stuff like stylize and stuff. You want to create a mosaic kind of effect, you can create these mosaic effects like this, what you see on screen right now. I can increase the number of tiling so that it gives this. And again, this can also be animated. So if you want to animate, you can click on this toggle animation button, and once this is on, uh, it actually creates automatic keyframes on whichever frame you are changing the values. Okay, so again, remember, if I don't want this animation at all, I will just click this back again. It will just ask me whether you want to remove the animation or whatever the keyframes are on the particular effect. I will say okay, the keyframes are gone. So yes, this is what we can do very quickly in terms of creating effects. Now, so what we did was we imported the footage. We took those content on a timeline. We edited the clip. We added transitions and we added effects to it. Now, one way of adding effect to an overall, let me just take this and remove this blur and mosaic over here. So one way of putting effects on all the clips together in terms of, like, if you want to do some color correction, right? So what you can do is you can actually come over here. Let me just go back to my editing workspace. It will be easier for me to see this. Okay, so what I can do is, if I just go to new item, you will see there is something called as adjustment layer over here. Now this adjustment layer is similar to what you find in Photoshop. So if you have used adjustment layer in Photoshop, this is the same thing. I will just take this, put up on the top, and I can apply effect to this. So for example, if I want to apply blur to a lot of clips simultaneously, I can do that on this clip on the adjustment layer. If I want to give a specific color to this whole timeline or the whole edit, I can give it a tone, that is a color tone over here. So if I want, I can come back and if I just open up my effects panel over here, you can see this. I will go to my uh, I will just take this one, okay, as a lumetri preset. I'll just drag and drop onto this, and you see this thing change, but it will change for all of them, not only here. So if I just put this off and on, you will see the difference over there. Let me just take letterbox thing, put up over here. It will change based on what I'm taking up over here. So let me just take text love for age. Okay. So these are the presets what we have. I can also take lumetri presets. For example, I want to take something like a monochrome. So if I want to create this whole timeline as monochrome, I can just drag and drop this over here, and you can see that this all the clips have converted itself to monochrome. Now if I just put this off, you can see that the clips are still having the color, but because of the adjustment layer, the whole timeline has converted to monochrome. So instead of going and putting effects and changing each and every clip to monochrome, I did that with the help of adjustment layer. So this really helps when you want to create this kind of effect. Now in case if you want to animate this from monochrome to color, you can even do that. So for example, you can go to your effects control panel, and then here, because it is a lumetri color thing, you can actually change those values based on how you want to do it. So this animation can also be done. So again, the idea is the same, that you can have adjustment layer like you have in Photoshop, and then you can apply that effect or whatever effects you want to all the layers underneath it. I can also take again, I can take blur. If I want to search for blur, I can select blur over here, and I can check this direction blur, and I can, like, I'll just take this Gaussian blur and I can just put up. So it actually gives me the option of blurring the whole of this timeline, all the clips underneath this particular adjustment layer. So this will really help you to give single simple effects to all the clips wherever you want. If I want to just give to all the clips which are till here, I can do that, and then post that, it will actually come back to normal stuff. I can change this position as well wherever I want to put it. I believe you get the idea regarding the adjustment layer. So now, uh, once we have done that, we also need to work with a lot of different things like text and sound and everything else. So if I want to just remove this, I can go to my workspace, which is called as my captions and graphics. So I will come to audio a bit later. So if I go to captions and graphics, I've got lot of different templates which I have, or I can also browse Adobe Stock, wherein there are templates which are paid templates, and I can also browse for free templates. So if I want, I can also select this small checkbox which is free, and I will only see templates which are free for me to download, and I can use them as my templates. Now I already have a lot of templates over here with me. What I can do is I can take something like this. Let me just take this one as a modern title. What will happen with this thing is you can see that this whole thing has come up very simply, and I just need to change the text over here. So for example, if I go to my edit and select this clip on the timeline, I can see there is a line, and the line is of this particular purplish color. Now if I want, that is a stroke basically. So this stroke color I can change to, probably I want a fluorescent green, and I can do that. Also, if I go to my text and if I double click on my text, it will select the text over here, and I can say Premiere, and let me just put it to Pro, and you can see that line also gets extended based on my text over here. And I want to change the fill color for this to probably say uh, more red color, like this, a maroonish color. Let me just see this. Okay, so let me just check this and change the fill color to red, and this will change the color to red over here. I can also give a outline, or that is a stroke to the whole of this. I'll put the stroke, and I can put the stroke width a bit more. So let me just put it to, like, 3 or something like this. Let me just come back over here. You can see this is also giving you a stroke around it. Okay, let me just select this and increase my stroke to say 6, twice that much. I can also add multiple strokes. If I want to add another stroke to it, I can also take another color, and that color can again be a fluorescent green. I can say okay, and then I can, like, make this to probably say 10, and you can see this. You can create interesting effects around this text. And if you see this, the animation remains intact. So if I just come here, this will what will come up, and after some time it will move out. Now if I don't want this to be that, I want this to go out at the end, I can just stretch it till the end so that it remains there. And if I just play this now, the animation timing does not change. The only time which is changing is the in between time, which is static. So here it is static, right? From this point to this point is static. So the animation timing remains same. The only thing what was extended was this particular frame, which was static over here. It covers up the whole timeline. If I want to make smaller adjustment, I can come over here. So now it will come, and if I see this now, this will be only this section which will be static, which has been, like, those frames have been removed or reduced, and then again it moves out from here. So again, you can go into browse, you can go online, you can check a lot of different stuff. Now when talking about Adobe Stock does not only have the assisted graphics, that means the text templates. It also has a lot of video templates. So for example, if I want to show you this, I can go to my I will just open up a new project for myself. Let me just say open recent, and let me just see. Okay, so if I see show you this project over here. Now this project basically is having, okay, so all these clips what you see over here, okay, so all these clips what you see over here are from Adobe Stock. Now let me just show you the source of it, and then I will show you, like, where these clips are from. So if I go to web browser, which is stock.adobe.com. This is what it is. This is what the URL is basically. Okay. So if I go to stock.adobe.com, what I will see is I will have options to select lot of different stuff like images, videos, audio, templates, 3D, free, and Premiere content as well. So right now I had taken this clip from here, and once I like something like this, I can actually download this to my library, okay, as a preview, or I can also download it as a preview to my local system, and then I can use it. Of course, it will come up with a watermark, and then if I make my timeline, if I like it, what I can do is I can actually buy these stock footages. But for the purpose of this, if I want to just create or learn Premiere Pro, I don't need to even buy it. I can use this uh, for learning Premiere Pro with this watermark on. So that is one thing. You can search for whatever you want over here. For example, let me just go down and say I can say find similar. So what happens is when I say find similar, it will actually give me all those clips which are similar to the clip which I have right now with me. Okay, so you can see this, right? And all these clips in which these guys are there is available to me. And if I go back also, I can see all those different variations with this particular clip. I can say see more. So in this particular shoot, whatever clips were there are all uploaded together, so I can use them to create a story. So something like this, I just kind of show you this. So again, if you see this timeline, there are a lot of things used which are clips which are from Adobe Stock. You've got like titles over here. That means the text content coming up over here on the top. Like this one on the left and right, they're all templates, ready templates which we have used. Okay, and then finally this is a graphic transition. So again, this is a free graphic transitions available on Adobe Stock, which you can use for going from one clip to another. It just covers up the clips in between, the edit point in between with this graphic. So it appears that this arrow comes in, and then by the time it goes off, there is another clip coming up at the bottom. Here there was no clip; it was another graphic. Again, this was a template which was used from Adobe Stock. So the whole thing, what we are seeing over here is like the videos and the graphics, everything is being used from Adobe Stock over here. So you can very well use this thing interestingly, and you can take clips from this region over here. And because it is a series, it is showing me all the clips in this particular series. Okay. Similarly, you can search for whatever you want over here. So you want to say like you want to say videos of Taj Mahal, for example. So videos, and then if I just say Taj Mahal, it should like browse all the videos, okay, or curate all the videos for me which are from Taj Mahal. So it will be easier for you to kind of take some content which is easily there available rather than going there shooting it for yourself. So this can help you to use a lot of stock videos for your projects. Okay, and you can also filter out based on what kind of shot you want. In case if you want extreme close up, medium shot, long shot, and which eye level you want, an aerial view of Taj Mahal, for example. Just say aerial view. Let's see if it has something. So all these are aerial views of something like this aerial view of Taj Mahal over here. All these are aerial views, right? So this will really help you to kind of get the kind of videos, stock videos quickly based on what you are looking out for. So let me just jump back to this, and quickly let me go to my another project. Let me just close all these projects what I have, and what I'm going to do next is show you something which I have over here, which is this one. Okay. So we imported the clip, we edited the clip, we put in transitions, we put in text, we put in effects on the clips, And then there are a lot of other things which you might want to do is the audio. So let me just quickly go to the audio. So we cover up the whole spectrum of the process. So now if I had all this stuff which was edited and the audio is also there, I can simply do this. Let me just come here quickly and go to my search bins, and this is a cool way of uh, looking at all your content. And let me just show you this. So all the sequences are coming up in this bin over here, which is basically a smart search bin right now for me. So if you see this icon is over here. So for example, if I just click over here and go to edit search bin, you will see that this is for any media type which is a sequence. So it will actually curate or collect all the sequences, no matter in whichever bin it is there in your project folder. It will bring everything into a single file like this. Let me just go to essential sound. I will just double click this thing, and you will see this is the sound thing. Let me just come here and also go to my panel, which is audio panel. So that is a workspace. Okay, so I will open up this. Now there are a few things over here which I would like to highlight. Is the way we also took videos. We also have options to browse your audio tracks based on, suppose, say, moods or genre or your filters. Let me just show you. If I go to mood, I want to have some happy mood music over here. I will just import something like, okay, give me some happy music. And not only that, I can also go to any genre like acoustic, film, dance, electronics, and stuff like that. And also the filter. Now filter will help me to define the tempo, the beats per minute, or the duration of the clip. I'm not changing anything right now, but if you're very sure what is the beat per minute you want based on the edit you are doing, you might want to change this. But as of now, I'm just keeping it as it is, and I will just kind of play this from here. Okay, now what is happening is, like, it is actually playing a lot of other stuff. So I will just kind of mute all this stuff right now for me, and I'll just play this. If I like this, or if I like this one, let me just see it starts playing. It actually starts playing in context to my timeline. If you see this, it will start from the beginning. If I play this, see again, see this. So if I like this, I can just drag and drop, and I can use it in my project. But this will not be a complete, what you say, a full res kind of or high bitrate audio file for you. It will basically be a preview file for you, and if you like it, you can actually, like, buy it. This icon is there where you can license this file, and you can use it in your project. But without this also, you can use it for your previews, so that you don't need to buy it unless it is approved, or it is, if you want to use it. So you can license it once it is good enough for you. That is first thing. You can browse through a lot of content over here, a lot of music, and you can just bring it into your timeline. Once it is there, and you have put up all your audio in place, so I'll just come over here and show you that, if I just play this back, I'm not sure if you're able to hear this. Can somebody confirm if you can hear the sound? You can hear it, right? Okay. So here, there are a lot of audio clips. The first three tracks what you see over here. Okay, let me just kind of, like, the first three tracks over here, which you see in green, are the vocals, that is dialogue tracks. Then there are the next two tracks, which is the ambience track, the bar and the people around it. And the last track, which you see in this color, is the music track. So if we are creating, or no, if you are working with sound, the idea is to, like, group all the clips of a similar kind in a single track. So for example, three characters, one dialogue track will be on one track, second character dialogue track will be second track, third character dialogue track will be on the third track. So it will be easier for you to manage. Okay, so let me just come here, select all these dialogue tracks, and say this is all my dialogues. Okay, now once I do that, it will give me a lot of options directly in the essential sound panel, so that I can use some of the presets directly from here. I can repair my, what you say, the dialogues over here. Loudness, I can say auto match, so that if there is any change in the pitch, in terms of the levels of your dialogues, it will all match automatically. You can also reduce noise. If you see a lot of noise coming in the background, you can change these parameters. You don't need to know sound engineering, but this will help you to create quick small fixes to your audio within Premiere Pro. You can also go to your enhanced page, and you can, if there's a high tone or low tone, you can also use reverbs and stuff like that. So you can do a lot of stuff over here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back and just start working with this thing. I will select all the ambience track and I will say this is all my ambience. And finally, I know this is my music track and I will say this is my music. So once I've defined, okay, what kind of tracks they are, so I'll just kind of select these clips once again. I can say loudness and I can say auto match, automatically match overall thing. And here also I can come here and say loudness and say auto match, so that first step I was doing was matching the levels or the sound levels of all the clips together. Okay, so let me just undo that. I say auto match. Yeah. Okay, so this is one thing. Other than that, wherever there's a dialogue track, what is happening is the music and the ambience is still going on the same levels. So what we want to do is we want to duck the ambience and the music tracks based on the dialogue. So if there's a dialogue, the music should go down, the ambience might go down a bit, and then we can hear the audio much more clearly. The dialogues much more clearly. So for that, we can use ducking over here. Okay, so let me just go to the music and select ducking, and I want to duck this against my dialog tracks. If I just see duck against dialog clips, and I will just apply or generate keyframes over here. Now, based on how the dialogues are and where you want to do it, you can change the sensitivity, duck amount, and fade duration as well. Okay, so this will actually create keyframes for me on this timeline and show me that based on the clips over here. Now that is what it is. It didn't change sensitivity. I'll just say generate keyframes. Okay, so it actually created this keyframes. You can see this keyframes over here automatically. This will create this kind of keyframes. You can also reduce the duck amount if you want to decrease it a bit more, and the sensitivity can be a bit more over here. Let me just generate keyframes once again. So it will create keyframes based on dialogues on the top, and it will actually reduce the noise levels over here. Similarly, I can do the same thing for my ambience clip. I can say duck against my dialogue, and for this ambience also I will increase my sensitivity and the duck amount. And let me just come back and show you generate keyframes. It will also create similar keyframes for my clips over here. And then if I play this back, okay, then if I play this back, what happens is basically so what happens it dug I actually dug a bit lot in terms of the fade the duck amount, which is a bit more. But I just want to show the difference that if the dialogues are much more clear now and you don't need to create those keyframes manually. You can see this damage also goes down based on this keyframes what we have just created. Okay. Okay, so this is a quick way of fixing your audios over here, and that is one thing. Sometimes what happens is you have tracks. Let me just go to a new sequence. I'll just say okay, and I will go to my browse and I will use this happy one only. Let me just take this and put this thing over here. Now, if I see this audio track, if I just expand this, okay, what is happening over here is this particular audio track is, let me just come back to edit, and this is my music, and this one music is my auto match. Just put this auto match over here. It actually gives me this icon, right? Now this is a quite long audio, which is around more than 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes, or kind of soundtrack. Excuse me. Sometimes what I want to do is I want to reduce this sound track to suppose say 2 minute or a 1.5 minute thing, and then I wonder how will I like reduce this. If I clip this, I crop this, it will actually like cut off the clip at the end. Instead of that, what I can do is if I define this as a music track, what I can do is I can go to my duration and I can use something called as remix. Now here instead of 3 minutes 30 seconds, what I can do is I want to create it as a 1 second thing. So I will just like a 1 minute thing. So I'll just put this as this, and it will analyze this clip and try to create a music segment of 1 minute for myself. So instead of like me looking out where I should cut and not, this will create that for me. And now if I just zoom in and just see this, okay, what I see is you can see this pattern. Okay, this pattern indicates that there are edits at this particular point. If I just play this back, okay. So I know looking at this, like I don't realize that there is any kind of edit happened because it actually manages to mix the sound too well. So what happens is like from what you say a 3.5 minute audio clip, I have created a 1 minute audio clip for my work. So in case if you want to do something like this, it will be much more easier if you are using something like this remix over here. Great. So let me just go to the next thing, which will be like very important for you again. One thing is, of course, the color. Now, when we talk about colors, okay, we talk about essential panels wherein we have got lumetri color panel. So let me just go to my color, and if I go to my color workspace, you will see this lumetri color panel over here. This is also available to you as an effect in the effects panel, but once we start changing something here, it will automatically change it back in your, it will add that lumetri color in your clip on automatically on this particular clip. So if I'm over here and if I have to change the look and feel of it, I have different options of inputting an LUT if I know which kind of LUT I want to use. So you can see a straight change in the overall color over here. This is looking very, very linear. And if I just come over here, like, this will give you a good, contrast. Colors will be enhanced. A warm color tone is added to it. And then post that I can still change stuff if I want to. I can change the color, white balance, temperature, tint, saturation, exposure, contrast, all these things I can change. Now, there are different sections in this lumetri color, and I can use either of them or multiple of them based on my requirement. I can go to vignette and I can actually add this vignettes around my clip. Okay. Let me just come back to my edit, and then okay. So I think there is some issue with this clip for me right now. Let me just go to another clip. Sorry for this thing, guys. Let me just come back to my color, and for this color I can change again. I can put one of the LEDs, or I can change my creatives from here. That means I can select one of my looks which are available to me, and I can just browse through the look. If I like this one, evening scene, I can just click this. It will get applied to my color over here. If I go next, if I like something like this monochrome, just click, it will get applied to my clip over here. So very easy to put things in place in terms of colors. And then I can go to curves. The curves are like RGB curves. If you are willing to work with this kind of curves, you can do that. I want to increase the reds in this and the midtones, I can just do this, or I can reduce the reds in the midtones, which can go down over here. So you can do all this stuff straight away by using these curves. You also have got color wheels and match. So for example, if I come over here and I see this time, this is a good color, and but this is like the colors are not very good over here. But here you see that this is much more saturated. The colors are coming out very nice. What I can do is I can come over here and I can do a comparison view when I can see what I want to compare it with. I'm comparing this clip with the clip which is the next clip. or any clip on my timeline I can compare it with, right? So I'm just matching it this particular clip. First thing I will go and I will do is I will give my LUT because I know which is the lookup table, and then I might also want to go to my color wheels and match, and I can say apply a match, including face detection. So if I apply a match, okay, this will actually bring the color tones from the reference image to the source image. You can see now this is much more similar to what it was. Okay, so if I want to see the like overall thing, I want to see this before and after thing, I can show you this was what it was before, and after applying the color LUT and the match, I am getting similar colors with what was there available to you in the other clip. So again, the comparison view helps you to check the colors or match the colors based on some other clip in the timeline. And then you have got options of let me just come here. Okay, let me just so this is not there right now, so let me just take this clip and okay, let me just link this media, and I just link this clip is missing right now for me. So if I want to search, I know where to search it. I can just simply hit locate, and it will search for this media. Okay, in my shared folder, let me just say search, and this is the clip. Fine, it searches automatically from based on the name. I just give it a tentative place where it should search for, and this clip comes here. Now here again, one interesting thing is your curves, where you have got color wheels and match, and you've got all this stuff on set. You've got the creatives, curves, and we are going to look at hue and saturation curves over here. This is what I was talking about. Now, for example, if I want to change the hue and saturation for this particular color, okay, which is over here, I will either reduce the hue saturation of that color, or I can increase the hue and saturation of that color. You can see this. I'm decreasing it right now. I can also change the hue of this particular color, okay, to some different hue. You can see the color bar. When I click the center point, it will change. It is going towards the bluish thing. Now it is purplish. Now you can see this on the left. It has changed this effect for you. See this. Okay, from here I will change it to this particular color, right? Similarly, I can change it for hue versus luma for the same thing. I come over here. Luminance values can be dark color or it can be brighter color. Okay, so those things can be done very easily. I can change the illumination versus saturation for this particular same thing. Okay, so it will just help me to change certain amount of saturation value for all the luma values of what I have selected. And I can change the saturation values for this saturation value again. So it is very minute details. You can change the color pixels in very minute details. Now what it was before and what is after, you can see this very easily, right? So this is the Lumetri color panel, which really helps you to quickly change the look and feel of your clip without bothering about applying effects to the individual clips and putting it there. I can also apply this Lumetri color to the adjustment layer. So if I had this adjustment layer on top of it, so again if I take this adjustment layer, and if I take this, put this on top of all the clips, okay, so even adjustment layer, okay, will have this thing which is called as Lumetri color panel. So you just come here. I can give a LUT to all the clips on my timeline if I want to. Okay, let me just say none right now. I can increase. I can put it to bluish tone. Okay, I can change all the clips to bluish tone over here, or I can all the warm tone over here. Okay, I can change the tint of it if I want to. I can increase the exposure for all the clips or decrease the exposure for all the clips if I want to. So this is where this will really help if you want to give a specific color grade to your complete timeline. You can do it at the end so that everything looks good and crisp and nice. And again, I was talking about the vignette. Let me just check if I can put up over here. The vignetting thing is not working for me. Somehow it is not showing on my system right now. But if you just move it around, you will see border edges converting to black over there. Okay, so that is what it will be. Yeah, so this is what Lumetri color panel will do for you. So finally, what will happen is you have done all your stuff. You have imported the footage, edited your timeline, given in transitions, given in text, given in all the you have managed your or mixed your audio well, done some color correction. Finally, you are ready to export. So then you can finally go to export over here. Now, when you talk about export, you have got a media file which can be saved to your local storage, that is local disk. You can also upload to YouTube, Vimeo, Twitter directly from here. So if I go to YouTube, I will have to sign in with my YouTube credentials. So if I just come over here, I can select my channel. I have to sign in over here. So I will have to just add multiple channels if I want to. But first of all, I have to sign in. So I can sign in, and once the render is over, it will automatically upload to your YouTube channel to the specific playlist with the title, description, with the tags, any thumbnails which you want, okay, any captions and anything, effects and anything. So all this stuff, all this stuff will be there available to you. So this can be done directly from Premiere Pro, and you can also upload to a lot of other mediums at the same time. Now, once I go to media file, I will just say where I want to save this file as an export. I can come and select a destination folder. And once I've done with that, I'm happy with that, I will say export directly from here. So what it will do, it will create a movie format for me based on what I have selected. Now, what I want to do is I want to select a preset. So now over here, the media file over here, I can have more presets if I want to, based on what I want to export out. Okay, so I've got a lot of preset formats available to me. If I am uploading it for probably, I would just want to save it to my disk, but I want to upload it to YouTube later on. So I can go down and I can select my YouTube option over here, which can be uh, Full HD, Ultra HD is 4K, 480p and stuff like that. So if I want, I can still select this medium and I can say OK, and it will actually export out a file which is a YouTube preset file on my local disk, and then later on I can upload it to YouTube if I want to. Now, having said that, one important thing when you are making a content for multiple platforms is that the aspect ratios are different. Right now, this is horizontal, which is 16:9, but sometimes you are shooting with a mobile device, which is vertical. So in that scenario, what happens is if I go to my edit, and if I just one last thing which I would like to show you was this, that okay, and let me just workspaces. Okay. So now if I want to show you this thing, let me just show you one option which is called as auto reframe. Now if I'm coming over here, okay, this is a horizontal format, right? Okay. Now that is strange, I'm not able to see my. Let me just quickly quit Premiere Pro. I'll just come back again to this. Okay, sorry for this, guys, but on my there is some problem with my display, which did not show the clip correctly. I just refreshing that. Yeah. So one sec, let me just get ready with my project once again. So this is where it really helps that when you are shooting and you have edited a single timeline which is horizontal, you can change it to a square resolution or a vertical resolution based on what you want to show or where you want to show it, which platform you are going to upload it for. So let me just open the. I'll go to home and I will open the recent project which I was working on right now. And finally, that is something important over here. Let me just come here. That's good. And let me go to auto replay. Okay, here. So here you go. This is a horizontal 16:9. And what I wanted to show you was if I was doing it vertical, then if I just crop it off, the subject goes out of frame. And if I add different frame levels, if I just go there, you can see that it's it's actually not the correct way of showing it. So what I can do is I can actually come here in the sequence and right click and say, you can actually come here and auto reframe sequence. This is what I will like to do. So if I do auto reframe sequence, it will ask me that whether I want for a vertical aspect ratio or not, or square. That is like for suppose Instagram, a vertical can be for multiple platforms. Right now it is horizontal, right? So I will take a vertical 9:16, and I will say create. Now once I create this, it will create a sequence like this. And now if I go to the same frame markers where I was earlier in this particular one, okay, the same time code at the 8-second time code, you will see that he was out of frame, and now if I come here, he is still within the frame. So it automatically detects the subject matter. Okay, here is in the frame. Here it is almost like on the edge of the frame. Here is like out of the frame, and again at this same time code, if you see, is like within the frame. So you can see that it tries to manage to bring the subject line within the subject within the frame and gives you a vertical aspect ratio. Now once you're happy with this, you can simply go to export and export this out to the file format which you want, and this will export out a vertical aspect ratio. So finally, this is what you can do with Premiere Pro. You can import the footage, edit the footage, add effects to it, add titles to it, change the color, mix the audio, and finally export it out to the platform what you want. So I believe that this gives you a good idea about how to start working on Premiere Pro. And if you are new, I will definitely try and want you to go to the learn section and go through this in-app tutorials, which will help you to give get good hands-on experience with Premiere Pro. So that's it from my end. Thank you for your time, and if there are any questions, we can take them. I'll stop sharing my screen now. Yeah.
Thank you, Kalpesh, for such an insightful session.
Yeah, thank you. It was There are a lot of things which needs to be done and shown. It was a very short time, but yeah, I guess they get an idea of how we can get started with it.
Sure. Thank you so much. I hope everyone has understood how to use Adobe Premiere Pro for making their videos and submitting for the hackathon. So now moving forward, we have Divya Mittal, and she'd like to address the audience. Divya is the team lead customer success managing SEA region at Adobe.
Thank you so much, Kalpesh and Asgar. I think that was indeed a great session on video, and I'm sure a lot of people must have learned some cool features. And I can see Kalpesh was really doing well in terms of explaining all of those features. Thank you, Kalpesh, for spending so much of
Thank
your
you.
time. Guys, if you have any questions, anything that you would like to share, feel free to reach out to us. And as Askar just mentioned, I am here as a team lead customer success, and most of my customers in Southeast Asia would know me. So feel free to reach out to me. I'm sending my email address, or you can note it down, which is dmittal, DMITTAL at adobe.com. If you have access, you can share my email address. And do we have any survey or a feedback form to share with them?
No.
All right. So I think if we do not have anything else, we are running this workshop, and you would get a chance to participate in a design challenge. Please do that. And if you have any questions further, feel free to reach out to us, as I've just mentioned. We will be sharing last date of submitting your projects. So pick any design challenge and uh, give a hands-on experience on these products and give a best shot. All the best to all of the participants. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Divya. Thank you, Kalpesh.
Thank you. Bye bye. I shall. Thanks.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.